Flight 35 for San Francisco, now boarding at gate 28. Commuter Flight 218 for Las Vegas, now boarding at gate 29. Flight 35 will arrive in Las Vegas at approximately 11:26 p.m.
Flight 35 arrives in Las Vegas? Hey, did you hear them change Flight 35 to a Las Vegas flight? Well, do you want to go to Las Vegas? Well, maybe you do, but I've been to Las Vegas. I want to go to San Francisco. This is a hell of a way to run an airline.
Commuter Flight 218 will arrive in San Diego at approximately 2:15.
San Diego? No. Hey, mister, where's the complaint department? I see it. Thank you. Hey, looky here, sir. I was about to board Flight 218 for Las Vegas, but they changed it to San Diego. I mean, without any warning, just like that. Boom. Now, look, I am a private citizen. I have this ticket. I'm going to...
What is a three-letter word for Supreme Being?
I have a complaint to make. Is this a place to make it?
A three-letter word for Supreme Being.
God. Listen, I have a date in Las Vegas in 2 hours, but how am I going to get there?
We want to register our complaint with the proper
Could be
authority.
CIA, or JFK, or KKK.
G-O-D. God.
Yeah.
This way, please.
What?
Let me have your identification cards. Bank IDs, supermarket IDs, credit cards, driver's license, that sort of thing. Then sit down.
What for?
To make sure we're not making a mistake.
Well, you are making a mistake. You've made 2 mistakes. Otherwise, we wouldn't
Please.
be...
There's been no mistake. On our part, that is. Each of you has been making the mistake. Mrs. Jenny Jones.
Yes.
You've been heading in the wrong direction.
Oh, no, I wasn't. I was going to
Your
Las
life,
Vegas.
I mean, has been heading in the wrong direction.
Insight. Stories of spiritual conflict in the 20th century. Insight.
Human life is like an airplane, a boat, or an automobile. It's equipped with a powerful engine for only one purpose, to enable it to go someplace. Some people never turn their engine on. They vegetate. Other people turn on, but because they're committed to nothing, they never get into gear. They may gun the motor, dissipating its energies, but they never go anyplace. Still other people get into gear and perhaps move forward at high speed, but they don't know where they want to go. And so they ride in circles. This is a great tragedy because there's more to life than turning on and getting into gear. Life has a purpose. It has a destination. It's up to each of us to discover what that destination is and to figure out the best way of getting there. You've known people, I'm sure, who seemed to know what they wanted out of life. They thought that money or power or pleasure or prestige would make them happy. And so they worked very hard to get these things, and they succeeded, only to be disappointed. They had to learn the hard way that these things cannot give man the fulfillment and happiness he wants. But if these things cannot content us, what can? What is life's purpose? Where are we supposed to be going?
And Dermot Jones, you've been heading in no direction, which is a comparable sin because it's a comparable waste.
I need my driver's license and my credit
You
cards.
need to know only that God is a 3-letter word for Supreme Being.
You're not going to leave us in here.
I am.
Well, what are we supposed to do?
Help each other.
What?
Look, there are rules and regulations governing scheduling. Now, I demand to speak to the man in charge. Hey, you can't lock this door. Hey, this is kidnapping. It's assault. It's illegal, I mean.
You're right, it's illegal.
What do you mean, no direction? Did it ever occur to you that maybe I like going in no direction, and maybe she likes going in the wrong direction?
Oh,
How do
now,
you
just
know?
wait a second.
We have a right to live our lives the way we like, don't we? Well, don't we? What do you mean treating us like we're a couple of criminals?
Hey, mister!
Who in the hell do you think you are? Some three-letter word meaning supreme being?
Mister! This is not gonna do you the least little bit of good.
How do you know? Says who?
Oh.
Are you in with them?
In with who? I want to be out of here just as much as you do.
Not near as much as I do,
I
lady.
don't know any more than you do. And shouting doesn't do you any good. It'll give you a nervous breakdown. Oh, I read that in the Reader's Digest.
You're gonna just sit there until they let us out?
Yes.
What if they don't let us out?
Well, well, they have to let us out.
How do you figure that?
Well, look, now listen to me. If they keep us past dinner time, that means they have to feed us, you see. Well, now look, they can't afford to feed every Tom, Dick, and Harry who comes in here with a complaint, you see, don't you see? It wouldn't be economic. They would lose money. You who? I am talking to you.
Lady, I can't help you. You need a psychiatrist. You don't need someone like me. You're crazy.
Oh, I am what?
They must have thought I was a psychiatrist, which I'm not. I have never studied. I don't know the first thing about psychiatry. You obviously need a,
Tell me, what about me being crazy?
Insane. That's what I
Insane,
mean.
see. Well, you're crazier than I am to think of a thing like that. Accusing me of a thing like that before you even got to know me. Well, I tell you, you are the one who needs a psychiatrist.
We're supposed to help each other.
Yes. Well, that's what the man said.
Open up! Open the door! Hello,
Mister,
there. Open
will
up!
you
Open
give,
the
will
door!
you give up?
We agreed not to shout.
You are getting on my nerves.
I'm sorry.
Sure. Oh.
Hey, listen. Look, he said you were going in the wrong direction.
Oh.
Now, maybe if you agreed to reform, maybe that would do it.
Well, you know something? You are just as bad. I mean, no direction is as bad as going in the wrong direction. Now, I tell you, why don't you go first, huh?
What'll I say?
How the hell do I know?
We're supposed to help each other.
Sure.
Are we supposed to talk to the door or the computer?
Well, frankly, my dear, I wouldn't be caught dead talking to either one of them.
I'll become a partner, that's what I'll do. I've always been happy enough through the years to let the other fellow get by. Well, they like a lot of responsibility. They're ambitious. I've never been one for that kind of pressure. Or any kind of pressure, for that matter. But I suppose that's what direction is, and if I ought to have some... Do you think there's a camera in here?
How the hell would
You
I
really
know?
are a winner, you know that?
Thank you.
I'll go there tomorrow morning, ready to fight my way to the top, ready to battle the tremendous odds.
Ha!
What do you want? Well, at least I tried.
Like a damn fool. How about a piece of gum?
No.
Well, come on, it's good for you.
Gum chewing is a nasty habit.
No, it isn't. It's
It's a
super. It's
sign
super.
of emotional frustration.
What?
You didn't suck your thumb enough when you were a kid.
Oh. Have half a piece.
I haven't chewed gum since I was 8 years old.
It's really good, isn't it?
Yeah. It's kind of nice.
Well, what does it say?
Contact.
Well, what does that mean?
How am I supposed to know?
Look, hey, why don't you come back here and sit down and chew your gum?
You know, it must mean something. It's got to be a clue of some kind.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
Well, it's gone anyway.
Come back and sit down and chew. Good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about yourself.
Why?
Well, for one thing, there's nothing much else to do.
What do you want to know?
Well, you said over there something about being a partner. Are you a lawyer?
I'm an accountant.
Oh.
That's what everybody says. I thought you might have a little more imagination. Yes, sirree. For a minute there, I thought you might come up with something just a bit more imaginative than O.
Listen, are you trying to get a rise out of me, or are you just being mean?
I don't like talking about myself. Let's talk about you for a while.
I don't want to talk about me. I'm not through with you yet. Tell me, have you ever been married?
No.
Well, how come?
Never met the right girl at the right time, that sort of thing.
Oh, don't leave.
I better see what it's saying.
Oh, please. Well, what does it say?
Never mind.
Oh, come on, you are being childish.
Forget it. It says Dermot Jones is lying. But I'm not lying.
Oh, dear. Hey. What kind of apartment do you have?
Well, what has that got to do with anything?
Well, you know, you could tell a lot about a fellow by the kind of apartment he lives in. I bet yours is small.
Not too big, not too small.
But nice.
Nice enough.
And oriental rugs on the floors.
How did you know?
And paneling and lots of bookshelves.
Yeah.
Antiques.
A few.
More than a few.
Maybe.
Huh? And enough so you might call the apartment overcrowded.
Well, it's a small place.
And it's too crowded for a big party or anything.
Well, I don't like big parties anyway.
And you spend all day Saturday doing the cleaning, huh?
And half of Sunday if I shake out the rug.
Oh, but you don't have a maid, no.
No. They break things. You don't know the valuable things they break, and I don't mind doing it myself.
You do your own cooking?
I enjoy cooking.
I mean, for yourself. I mean, you don't have people in to dinner much.
Once in a while.
And you don't go out to dinner much.
I'm not the type.
And at the office, you sit there adding and subtracting, and you don't talk to anybody.
Well, occasionally.
But most of the time, you can sit there for days, weeks, months maybe, without saying a word to anybody.
What are you getting at?
Am I right?
Well, what's wrong with that?
I knew it. I'm right. I'm right.
If I don't want to talk to anybody, I don't have to. And if I don't want to have people over to cook for them and entertain them, they don't appreciate it anyway. And I don't see why I have to get married. I mean, it's my life, isn't it? It's my life, damn it.
You are a disgustingly selfish man, Mr. Jones. Saying something! Well, look, you're the one who's so interested to see what it's saying. Come on over here and take a peek.
Exactly what did you mean, disgustingly selfish?
Well, what do you know? It is feeding us. Here, you have one. Well, oh, my. That means that they can keep us here for as long as they like. Well, that is the worst sandwich.
I really don't see why you think I'm selfish, much less disgustingly selfish.
I mean, that's what I call a lousy sandwich. Ooh.
I mean, that's a cruel thing to say.
Sandwiches that come out of machines are always lousy.
Unnecessarily cruel.
Dry.
I mean, selfish would have been enough.
And the bread is stale.
I mean, if you feel that way about it.
Well, they make them a year in advance and then they freeze them.
You might have had some regard for my feelings after all.
Freezing will kill the taste of anything.
You might have said Mr. Jones or Dermot. You don't think enough about your fellow man. Because you're shy, you're an introvert.
Well, that is the worst sandwich I've ever eaten. How's yours?
Not bad.
Dry.
A little.
So is mine. Hey, come on, let's have a piece of gum.
No thanks.
Well, it's good. After a dry sandwich, it makes the saliva come.
No thanks.
Oh, come on, have a piece.
No.
Come on.
I don't want any.
Well, you're selfish.
I don't want any, that's all.
Well, I want you to have some. It's a gift. It's a peace offering from me. Reject it and you're rejecting me. You're rejecting all of women.
There, are you satisfied?
Well, for the moment. It does make the saliva come, doesn't it?
Yes, yes it does.
Told you so. Now all we need is a little sex.
Aren't you married?
Let's not talk about me, huh?
He called you Mrs. Jones.
All right. So I'm married.
You don't like your husband.
Me and my husband are none of your business.
You hate him.
I loathe him.
Why?
Because he's a creep.
It says you're lying.
Because he's a failure then.
Still lying.
Because he's lazy.
Nope.
He's sexless.
Sorry.
Because he is my husband.
Well, I'm glad that satisfied somebody. Now, you hate your husband because he's your husband. I wasn't cut out to be a psychiatrist.
Hey, listen, don't be discouraged. I've never told this much to anybody.
Really?
Really, really.
Any kids?
No. All right, 3 kids! That thing's a royal pain in the neck.
Why'd you say you didn't have any?
Well, I guess I forgot.
You didn't forget.
Well, I wanted to forget.
Why?
Because I hate my children!
Your own children?
They're brats!
You've made them brats.
They were born brats!
No!
Yes!
Why?
Because
why?
I'm not gonna tell you!
I want to know!
Let go of me!
Why do you hate your children?
Because they are mine! Nobody else's. You can't give your children away. Or shut them up in a cupboard like toys and bring them out once a month or once a year. They're like warts. Once you've got them, you have got them.
You're selfish, too.
Yes. Sometimes I wish they'd never been born.
Sometimes you wish you weren't married, too.
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Sometimes even you pretend you don't have any kids, that you aren't married, don't you?
It doesn't hurt anybody.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
What do you do?
It is none of your business.
You tell me exactly and specifically what you do, and I'll tell you whether or not it hurts anybody.
All right. All I do is I go downtown where all the movie theaters are, where there are a lot of people. And then I pick me out a guy. A good-looking guy, and I try to pick him up. That's all. It's perfectly innocent.
You're usually successful, huh?
Usually.
Well, then what? What do you do?
Well, then nothing. Then we go out and we have a drink and we talk.
About your creepy husband and your bratty kids, huh?
No! No, because sometimes I'm a nurse or I'm an airline stewardess or even an actress. I could have been a lot of things.
If it hadn't been for the husband and kids. Well, now, after the drink and the talks, then what, huh?
Then nothing. Then I get out of there.
Always? Every time?
Every time.
I don't need you, I know. You're lying. You take them to some cheap hotel or some dirty motel, and you sign fake names and you make fake love as some fake actress or fake star.
No, I don't!
You do! You tell me You tell me!
It's them. It's always them. They make love to me. That's the difference. There's a big difference.
Whore! Well, what'll I do now, huh?
Oh, no.
You really are a pain in the neck. Crying isn't going to help.
Oh, no.
You're getting on my nerves. Will you stop it? Please, I can't stand it. Please, I'll help you. Jenny, please, don't cry, please. Please.
Oh, but it is so awful, awful.
But you're not so awful.
It's unforgivable.
Nothing's unforgivable. Jenny, I've got to tell you something.
Yes?
Everything I said before was a lie. About the apartment, the antiques, all those things.
Well, listen, that's all right. It doesn't matter now.
Yes, it does. You've been honest. I live in a big apartment, new, plaster, no paneling, no bookshelves, no oriental rug, wall-to-wall carpeting. My wife picked it all out, and it's all terrible. It doesn't matter, though. The kids would ruin anything nice if we had anything nice.
Kids, too.
Just like yours. You're always hanging on me, wanting me to push them on swings or play ball. I don't know how to talk to kids. I don't want them to get close to me. Or anybody.
Oh, my poor Dermot.
I don't want sympathy. I didn't tell you to get sympathy. I told you because it just occurred to me that maybe you're just like my wife.
And you're like my husband.
I've never given her a chance.
Maybe that's what's wrong with our children. Oh, dear.
Your identification cards? Yours? Godspeed.
Flight 35 will arrive in Las Vegas at approximately 11:26 p.m.
Vegas? Is this Flight 35 to San Francisco? What a hell of a way to run an airline.
There's a little Jenny and Dermot in each of us. We're confused about life's purpose. And because we are, we're confused about ourselves. We're not sure who we are. And we're also very afraid that if other people get to know us as we actually are, they won't like us. And so we take steps to prevent them from getting too close. We create a mask for ourselves to hide behind. This mask is the role we play. Usually the person we would like to be, or think we should be, but not the person we actually are. Most of us slip into role-playing almost unconsciously. It seems the easiest way to get along and not get hurt. But most of us aren't too happy about it. Deep down, we know it's phony, and we're not at all sure it's worth it. Role-playing is exhausting business, and it's very risky. It's so easy to slip. And then somebody might discover our real selves. They couldn't possibly like us then. This is our great mistake. You may be stained by sin and guilt, but sin or not, you're good. You're lovable. We have difficulty believing this. We think that if other people get to know us as we actually are, they won't like us. I dare you to try it. Step out of your role. Be content to be yourself. You don't have to be a world beater. Most of us aren't. We're weak. We fail. We sin. Let other people know you as you actually are, with your weakness, with your sins, with your pain. You'll see how they respond. In you, they'll discover themselves. They'll like what they find. The real you, the one created by God, is so much more lovable than any you can create for yourself.
Insight is a production of the Paulist Fathers, a group of Catholic priests who serve their God by serving those outside their church.